Welcome, 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 everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here today for my session of the New Earth Ascension Summit, Embodied Leadership for the Galactic Age. I hope you have been having a good time during the summit so far, and I wanted to shout out and thank our other speakers for doing such an amazing job. They've really worked hard to create a beautiful experience for you, and I wanted to give them a great big thank you from the bottom of my heart. So let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen here because I love a good slideshow. Okay, so my topic today is the Wealthy Woman Revolution. Today we are going to begin the first steps towards dismantling patriarchal poverty codes. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shelli Howells. I'm a New Earth Marketing Alchemist who helps spiritual CEOs turn chaos into clarity with soul-aligned marketing and quantum business systems. I'm the leader of the Wealthy Woman Revolution, a rising movement to reclaim feminine leadership, disrupt old wealth systems, and build the new earth economy through spiritually aligned businesses. All right, so let's go ahead and open the portal before we jump into our content today. I like to do this to help you get grounded and centered, and also so that you can receive what resonates and release what doesn't, okay? So go ahead and take a deep breath in and release. Wiggle your toes to help you come into your body. Call your attention back from all the other things that are demanding it at this time. Another deep breath in and release. Releasing tension, relaxing into this present moment, allowing yourself to be fully present. Good, 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 good. Thank you. I want to share something personal with you today, not because it's easy, but because I know some of you might see yourselves in it. A few years ago, I left a 33-year marriage. It wasn't dramatic or explosive. It was the slow unraveling of something that had been full of patterns that neither of us understood or could break free from. I had just come through my own spiritual rebirth after being chronically ill severely for over a decade. I had finally healed physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I was so ready to begin to explore and really live life again. But the man that I had once hoped to explore it with, he wasn't on the same path. He had not followed me into the esoteric and spiritual realms. As I came more and more alive, he withdrew further and further into depression. We were living two completely different realities under the same roof. And I began to notice the deeply ingrained codependence that was happening between us. I was the overgiver, the peacekeeper. I thought I was holding everything together, but in reality, I was just holding myself back. The deeper I woke up, the clearer it became to me that the marriage had run its course. So I made the hardest decision that I have ever made in my entire life. And I walked away. I left with a suitcase and the clothes on my back. No divorce settlement, no alimony. He wasn't working at the time. And so for the first time in my entire life, at nearly 60 years old, I was 100% responsible for my own livelihood. It was disorienting, not just emotionally, but energetically. I had always been taken care of. That was the story I'd been handed as a woman in this society, that a man would provide, that he should provide for me, and that my role was to give and give and give. And now that structure that I had unknowingly relied upon, it was gone. My business, which had once been thriving, it started to collapse. The programs that used to sell out, crickets. My savings, gone, very quickly gone. There were several months where I truly didn't know if I was going to be able to pay my rent. I was terrified. And more than that, I was angry. Angry at myself for not knowing how to do this, angry at the system that had never taught me, angry that I had followed all the rules and was still left with nothing, especially at this stage of my life. But here's what I now understand. The collapse, it was an invitation. The moment I had to rely on myself completely was the moment that I began to reclaim my power. Because what fell apart wasn't just a marriage, it wasn't just my business, it was my connection to the old paradigm of wealth, security, and survival. And in its place, a new way was beginning to emerge. One rooted not in dependence, but in sovereignty, not in overgiving, but in alignment, not in fear, but flow. That's the journey that we're going to take together today. And if you've ever felt like the ground beneath you was falling away, please know you're not alone. Sometimes it's not destruction, it's the clearing of space for something new to rise up. And the truth is, my story is not unique. It's a tale as old as time. I'm not the first woman to flounder after a divorce. I'm not the first to suddenly realize that she's never truly been taught how to hold her own wealth. I'm not the first to feel like she gave everything to everyone else only to be left with nothing. This isn't about one relationship. It's about an entire system that told women that we had to be chosen, kept, and provided for instead of being powerful. Are you ready to join the revolution to change that? Let's take a look at the old Earth economy. Okay, and I recognize that we have both male and female here in this audience. And so I invite you to look at this beyond gender and see these as systems, recognizing that we all have the masculine and the feminine within us. And so take a look at these as systems instead of taking it in terms of gender, okay? So old Earth economy is patriarchal. That means that it is hierarchical, it is pyramid. We have those who suffer on the bottom and we have those who succeed on the top. And it's a pyramid scheme is what I like to call patriarchy. It's a pyramid scheme. It is individualistic. It motivates people to think for them, to be motivated for themselves. The motivation is for you to succeed. And there's this illusion that as long as there is somebody with less power than you, somebody who is under you, somebody that you have power over, that you are succeeding. Even if you're like on the low end of that pyramid, you feel like you're succeeding in this patriarchal system. Whereas the truth is that the only ones that are succeeding, that are winning, are those top 1% at the very, very, very tip of the pyramid. It is transactional. One to one. What that means is that I give you money in exchange for something else. It's a one to one. I give to you, you give to me. I give my rent check to my landlord, and she gives me this wonderful little apartment to live in. I check out at the grocery store, I hand over my money to the cashier, and I walk out with groceries. It's a one to one exchange. And then finally, it is earned value. You have to earn your value. You have to be constantly doing, doing, doing. You have to get a job. You have to provide for yourself. It is this constant state of earning your value. Let's contrast that with the new earth economy. This is what we are working to establish. We're ready to release. We are ready to release the old way of doing things. We're ready to embrace the new earth economy, which is a matriarchy. Now, once again, this is not gendered, nor is it simply taking patriarchy and removing the men from the top and putting women on top instead. That's not the feminine leadership that we are talking about. What we are talking about here is that everybody in the community is unranked. We don't have a hierarchy. We are all equal in value. The motivation is community based. It is legacy based. It is wanting to leave things better than how you found them for the rising generation, the children who come. And so this is a rising tide raises all ships. We work together as a community, and the entire community benefits from it. This is the fun part. It is synchronistic, meaning that it is many to one, which means that I go out and I give to one person, but I receive through many different channels. And it might not even be the one person that I have given to. Instead, we're moving through life with synchronicity, trusting that I'm going to be at the right place at the right time to give to that person exactly what they need that only I can offer. And also trusting that I will be in the right place at the right time to receive exactly what I need from these other channels. It's beautiful. I love this idea of synchronicity. And then finally, this is intrinsic value. You already have value. You don't have to earn it. You deserve all your needs to be met, all of your desires to be fulfilled just because you are. It is a state of being. Can you see how this embodies the ideals of the new earth? So to create this, we need to turn on our creative powers. We need to step into our feminine. And again, this is not gendered. We need feminine leadership. And we need, and now I am going to be a little bit gendered here, right? We need more women to step into their leadership. How do you do that? Well, your spiritual business is the bridge. Having a spiritual business, regardless of what you do, regardless of your mission and your purpose, your creating a spiritual business is the bridge. And why is that true? Money is a neutral energy. It's neither good nor bad. It is purely neutral, and it can take on the energy of those who use this tool. So the old earth, in the old earth economy, it has almost exclusively carried the energy of scarcity and lack. Those who don't have it, they want more, okay? They have a perception of not having it, and so they want to receive more. Those who do have it, they're still in scarcity and lack. It just looks different. They're in a place of fear of losing what they have. that once they receive it, they're afraid that they're going to lose it. That's why we see so much hoarding of wealth and resources. People are afraid they're going to lose their job. The stock market is going to crash. Other economic forces are going to take it away from them. But here's an important truth that I would like you to receive. Money is made sacred when it flows through sacred hands. The key word here is flow. Money was never meant to be collected and hoarded and stagnant. It was not meant to do this. It was meant to be appreciated. It was meant to flow and circulate. Now, this doesn't mean that your money won't accumulate. When you are flowing money through sacred hands, it will. Because when you give yourself permission to be fully resourced, your money will come in and overflow. So you are giving from this space of overflow rather than a space of being unresourced. That's where what I'm talking about truly becomes revolutionary. Wealth is a frequency, and you know this. You already know this. We've had a couple of speakers already talking about manifesting. You attract that which you are vibrationally. Now, this isn't to shame anyone. How many of you have had an experience where you've tried to manifest something and it just did not work out for you, no matter how hard you tried? I'm guilty of that. Okay, I've had several experiences of that. In fact, when I was first starting out my coaching business, I had set a goal of $1,000 a month. And it was reachable. It was a reasonable goal. I had mapped it out and I could see how it could happen. I used my tools. I had a vision board and affirmations, and I was using all of the manifesting tools to be able to reach that $1,000 mark. And I missed it that month. And I missed it the next month. And I missed it the next month. And I began that shame spiral of what is wrong with me. There was nothing wrong with me. There was nothing wrong with me. It was simply that my nervous system was dysregulated. And there was something about it that was telling me that how surpassing this goal was not safe. So if you're still wondering why it's been so hard to manifest what you desire, let me be very clear. The system was never built for you to succeed in. If you are a woman, if you are neurodivergent, if you are a person of color, if you are queer, trans, non-binary, then you have inherited millennia of programming that tells you you are not worthy of wealth. You do not get to hold wealth. You are not safe with power. You must shrink yourself to survive. This is not a mindset block. This is a trauma. This is not laziness. This is the legacy that you were given. So if you've struggled to hold wealth like I have, to feel safe in receiving, to trust yourself to take up space and own your power, it's not because you're broken, it's because you are carrying what your ancestors were never allowed to heal. And healing this isn't just about you. When you heal it, you open a portal for everyone like you before and after you to rise up with you. And that is beautiful. And can we just take a moment now? Your ancestors are coming in. Your past life, your past life versions of you. I feel them coming in. I feel the rising generation coming in. They're so grateful. See if you can tap into that and feel them, invite them into this space. They are so grateful to you. Grateful to you for carrying this for them and for healing it for yourself and for them. That's incredibly powerful. That's the revolution that we are creating today. Okay, here's another secret for you, okay? So maybe you thought that this was going to help you generate millions and millions of dollars in your bank account. Yeah, maybe, but more important is this truth. True wealth embodiment has nothing to do with what's in your bank account. It doesn't matter. It does not matter if you have $1 or $1 million, because wealth is an internal state of nervous system safety and trust. That is what true wealth is. It's internal. So in the old earth economy, wealth means hoarding, but it's a fear-based security. As I mentioned, you're always afraid it's going to go away, right? So now we regulate the nervous system in the new earth economy, and wealth becomes you being fully resourced, having all your needs and wants met. And then because you're in this space of surrendered trust. So you may have $5, 5,000, 5 million. It doesn't matter. The question is, can you trust that your needs will be met without abandoning your truth or collapsing into fear? Okay. I have learned that abundance is inevitable when I no longer abandon myself. My abundance is inevitable when I no longer abandon myself. And that takes nervous system regulation, right? We have all this programming. Yes, use your tools. Use your energy healing tools. We have several people here in the summit who can support you in that. Use your tools to help you heal when these things, when you are triggered, when these fears come up. Okay, and here's how you're going to regulate your nervous system. Number one, track your fear stories. Notice what stories come up for you and which stories trigger fear. For me, it's being homeless. I've never been homeless. I've had friends who have been homeless, and they were able to survive that. They were able to come out of that. They're fine. But I must have past lives or ancestors or something that have created this great fear of being homeless, which is why the universe gives me these beautiful opportunities to contract and face that fear, right? If I don't have 3 months rent stored in the bank, then I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to pay it. And so the universe is like, let's contract and give you another opportunity to heal that. And I have to tell you, using my tools, every single time I've been able to pay rent, every single time the universe delivers. So track those fear stories, confront them, sit with the fear, use your tools and transmute them, alchemize them into trust and surrender, because the evidence is always there that you are cared for, that everything is going to be okay. We're all here, we're alive and kicking. It has always worked out, and ultimately it always will. Which leads me to number 2, stay present. Stay present without collapsing or abandoning. Once again, do not abandon yourself. Lean into it, do the healing that is necessary, feel all the emotions, right? Let's validate the heck out of your emotions, because we are talking about real life, real world realities here. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to deny it. We're not going to spiritually bypass anything. We're going to sit with it and stay present without collapsing without that spiral, and without abandoning ourselves. Bless the inflow as it comes. Gratitude, right? We know the power of gratitude. Be so grateful that the money is flowing. Be grateful and aware of the different ways and channels and sources that it can flow to you, and bless it with such gratitude. Next, circulate money intentionally. Now, yes, this is not just to be aware of what you are spending your money on, it's also to be intentional about how you spend your money. Meaning, what are the emotions that come up when you are doing so? It's really common. We are programmed to have fear, resentment, maybe overwhelm when we're paying our bills. And yet we can shift that too into a space of gratitude, right? So when I pay my rent, it can be really easy for me to have that initial reaction of, "Ugh, that's a lot of money," right? And to feel the lack of it. But also, I love this apartment. I love where I live. I love how cute it is, that it takes care of my needs. I love that I'm in an area that doesn't have harsh winters. It never well, it did snow this year. It rarely snows, and it's warm 9 out of 12 months of the year. And I live a 10-minute walk to the beach, my favorite place in the world, right? And so I am so grateful that I get to give my landlord a check for the blessing and opportunity of living here. Allow yourself to shift into this different mentality. It will take an effort. It will take awareness. It will take checking in when you're buying something or paying bills. How am I feeling? Can I shift this into gratitude? Yeah, yeah, you can. Somatic wealth visualization. This is so much fun. You can play with this. There are so many ways to do this. Tap into your future self, the future you that has the ideal job and so much money flowing in that you can hardly imagine, right? So like start with a large amount, let's say 100,000 a year. Let's start with that. And then let's start adding zeros to that and imagine yourself having this money, who you are, what you do, what you buy, how you serve. Imagine yourself with this money, because by imagining it, the body doesn't know the difference between your imagination and reality. And so you are helping your nervous system to get used to the idea of expanded wealth. That's the whole purpose of somatic wealth visualization, is to get your body used to holding this much wealth. Another fun way, something that I love to do, is when the lottery is super, super high, buy one or two tickets. Okay. And then imagine, what am I going to do with this money? What would I do? What bills would I pay off? What house would I buy? What car would I buy? Where would I go? Where would I travel? Get into that energy of it. Another fun game that I like to do when I'm out shopping, like at the farmer's market, especially at the farmer's market or at a festival or something like that. And I have cash on me, usually somewhere between $40 and $100. And as I walk through, I take a look at the different things that I am seeing. And if I want it, then I imagine that I buy it. I buy it, and then magically that money reappears in my wallet. Okay. And so I'm just going through, walking through, I'm buying everything that I want, everything that my little heart desires. Okay, I bought that Oracle card deck. Oop, magically regenerated in my wallet. Okay, I'm going to buy the fudge that is on sale, magically regenerates. Buy a little bit of artwork, it magically regenerates. Because honestly, that is how money works. That's exactly how money works, is that when we spend it, it flows right back to us. Okay, and a reminder that feminine wealth accumulation is not hoarding, it is resource expansion. Once again, this is how it works with the feminine. I invite you into your feminine leadership, regardless of your gender. The way that it works is that you are in your feminine of receiving. Receive first. We've been taught to have this backwards. We've been taught to give and give and give. Let's not do that. Be in a space of receiving. And then from this space of receiving, we are then going to receive and receive and receive. And then the feminine, it expands, it magnifies, it amplifies that which it receives. And then we are able to give from the overflow. I talked a little bit about that before. Give from your overflow. It is not hoarding, it becomes resourced expansion, and everybody benefits from it. Okay, I would like to do a light language activation for you today, connecting with my coding guide, Emily Grace, inviting my Arcturian healers into this space. Emily Grace says that we're going to do some light language clearing of the old earth paradigm. We're going to be releasing old earth wealth codes, those fear-based codes. We're going to release those. We're going to replace them with new earth wealth codes. And if you would like to receive, she's saying that she would like to install, she's got a bit of a sense of humor. She says, we're going to install a money maker, right? So shake your money maker. Oh, she's funny. So this is going to be a 5D technology that she installs within your body that is going to generate wealth, generate money, attract money for you. She's saying, nope, it's not going to attract money. Money is energy. And so it's going to be a generator of money, the energy of money. That's what she's telling me. And so when you generate this energy of money, then you are that vibrational match and the money will flow to you. She told me I got it correct that time. Thank you, Emily Grace. All right, so I invite you all to get comfortable. If you are in a safe space and are not driving or something like that, and it resonates with you, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Release. Again, wiggle your toes to help you come back fully into your body. Connect with your gut. Gut meaning God or Goddess, universe, or higher power. This is going to make sure that this is received in a way that is personalized for you. Arcturian healers, requesting my Arcturian healers to please heal those wounds, the experiences that created these wealth wounds, calling in our ancestors, calling in our past life selves, calling in any and all who would like to receive this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, good, 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 good. Emily Grace. Emily Grace would like to, a little bit of a channeled message here. What would you like to share? Emily Grace says, yes, 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 please open your heart, open your heart, open your heart. Release, release, release attachment. It is important for you, before we begin, to release attachment to the old patriarchal system. There are some of you who desire to reform the system rather than release it. This is your first invitation to trust and surrender. This is your first invitation to being cared for by the universe, not by the humans in your life, but being cared for, held, taken care of by the universe. This is your first invitation, your first practice, if you will. Therefore, Open, open, open your hearts and allow yourselves to receive. Thank you, Emily Grace. Is that complete? Yes, thank you. Oh, Purakashana hiro pola hana mana 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 ropahana kurashai. Koro kanana ishoyo manahala iro padakana. Koro hoshai opanamahana kashana karakara kainatai. Koro hashana iro namahala. Kora kana isho mana kana 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 kai. Kora 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 hiro ora hashairo nai. Kore mai. Kore. It resonates with you. Place your hand on your heart. Say out loud 3 times. I receive, I receive, I receive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was interesting because when I'm working with money, I often think that we're going to drop into the root chakra. And no, we were working with that solar plexus, with the power center shifting from patriarchy to matriarchy within ourselves, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And then we had the activation and the installation, which I felt in the heart. You may have felt it somewhere else, but that's where I felt it. Now, I want to speak to those of you who do have a spiritual business, but maybe you feel like you've hit a wall. I want you to let you know that you are not alone. You might be thinking, I've done the energy work. Why isn't the money flowing? I've invested in so many programs, in energy healer coaches, business coaches, classes and mentors, but their proven method didn't work for me. I have a beautiful body of work. I've got all of these testimonials. It is transformational, and yet I struggle to find new clients. I want to expand. I know I am meant for more, but I don't know how to do it or if the foundation that I currently have is going to be able to sustain it. If you are feeling that way, trust me, you are not alone. I've been there. And guess what? I did not find the answers that I was looking for. And so I went back to school and I am getting my master's degree in marketing and digital marketing. I created what I needed then so that I can help you now. I am using everything that I'm learning to plug the holes in my game so that I can help you plug the holes in your game. Okay, I'm going to call out your mentors in a very loving way. They've been gaslighting you, not intentionally, but they have been gaslighting you. Your energy healing coaches have told you that if you just heal one more thing, the money is going to flow. Meanwhile, your business coaches said that if you just learned their very specialized niche system, right, their strategy, their tactic, if you learn how to do that one thing, then the money is going to start flowing. Okay, It helps. It's a piece of the puzzle. Each of those are a piece of the puzzle. But the problem is that they were only offering you one leg of the metaphorical stool. And so, of course, when you sit down on that stool, it's going to topple over when you try and take a seat, right? So, you don't need more tips. You need a big picture structure that aligns with your energy and addresses your vision. You begin with your vision. You need to have the big picture strategy, not just tactics. Yes, you need the energetics. We're not going to release that. You need to continue to heal your wounds and activate yourself to these higher and higher frequencies as you continue to heal your nervous system and as your body is able to hold them. And then, yeah, you want strategy and tactics. You want to know how. You want to know how to do these things, not just the one or two things that your business coach knows how to do. You want to know how to do all of it, the marketing and the systems that support the marketing. And so I invite you to take the first step in putting the foundational pieces into place. And here is where I always start with my clients. Your business is a living portal. Even portals need pathways. That's what a funnel is. It's not a gimmick or a trick, but a sacred structure that allows the right people, your soulmate clients who are out there scouring the earth for you, it allows those people to find you, connect with you, and receive from you. They're waiting for this transformation. Your funnel is how they find it. If your aligned clients can't find you consistently, then you don't have a sustainable business. You have a beautiful body of work that's simply floating in the void. That's why this is where we start, because everything else, your offers, scaling, your mission, everything depends on your ability to be found, received, and trusted. Now, I understand that maybe you've tried funnels before. My approach starts with your big picture vision. So you know your strategy, you know why you are offering this freebie and what's going to happen once you do. It's based on your big picture vision, your values, and your voice. Then we align the structure to match because strategy without soul is not sustainable. Okay, so I have two things that I am offering you now to help you put that incredibly foundational piece of the puzzle in place in your business. The first one is a freebie that I'm offering to everybody. Your free gift is the Soul Aligned Funnel Flow Checklist. This is a checklist that lets you know each and every piece of the puzzle that goes into a successful flow, a successful funnel. And you can receive that by going here to this link, or you can simply pull up your phone and use the QR code to download that now. If you receive that and it feels overwhelming, or if you know already that you are missing this piece of the puzzle and it feels kind of overwhelming to try and put it into place all by yourself, I have a summit special offer for you. It's the funnel quick start session. And in this 60-minute one-on-one session, you get me, you get my expertise, you get my system, you get my activations, and we plug the gaps. We go in, we plug those gaps together and build a foundational client attraction plan. So I invite you to stop thinking of it necessarily as just a funnel and start thinking of it as a client attraction plan. And this will be a foundational piece that grows when your business grows. It is geared to expand with you, something that you put into place and then it continues to grow with you. So if you know you would like that, schedule a session. These are usually $300 sessions. And for the summit, I'm offering it at just $111. This work we've done together today, this is a reclaiming, a remembering, a rewiring. And every time you choose yourself, every time you root deeper into your power, every time you allow yourself to receive, you are participating in something bigger than yourself. You're not just shifting your income, you're shifting the entire field, because this is the wealthy woman revolution. Because trusting yourself instead of outsourcing your power is revolutionary. Receiving without guilt is revolutionary. Building a business that holds you instead of drains you is revolutionary. Choosing to stay with yourself, even when it's hard, is revolutionary. Flowing money through sacred hands is revolutionary. And refusing to abandon yourself ever again, that too is revolutionary. This is the Wealthy Woman Revolution. I invite you to join us and help us lead the way in creating the new earth economy. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I am so grateful for the beautiful magic we were able to co-create, and I invite you to enjoy the rest of the summer, the summer and the summit. Thank you so much.